Are we on here? Yep, great. Look, I know that all of you are as proud of their success, and we are of your success. And what a great year of transformation it's been for us and our portfolio. I think at this time last year, when we were together, I was just starting to paint this picture of something that I was calling the inside economy. It was still an early idea, and we were talking about the importance of helping our clients deal with information that, of course, they needed to wrestle with in their own organizations, but really starting to think fundamentally differently about what kind of insights can be divined if they had information access to things that were more broadly available, using the cloud not just for the aspects of low-cost, disruptive economics of computing, but also thinking about using it as a connective fabric to reach into all sources of information. Now, at that time, I kind of knew what we were going to announce a couple days later with Twitter. And then during the course of the year, you've continued to see us deliver really fundamentally game-changing partnerships and opportunities with companies like the Weather Company, and with Box, and with Facebook, and Tencent. And we're thrilled on the opportunities that this has opened up really for all of us. So let me go into kind of the background and really talk about where we are, because we're still very much in a very early, exciting phase of what I think is unfolding in front of all of us. And it seems like every year I say the same things. I've been doing this for almost 30 years, and this year is the most exciting year. And again, this year is the most exciting year. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. It's not a mistake. It's not, a fluke that this room keeps getting bigger. We're joined by more of you. And now I think we're opening up a portfolio that allows agility and speed and value delivery at a rate and pace that we didn't even think was possible just a year ago. Now, let's rewind and talk a bit about what is actually going on with regard to the way that we're all working together, us and you, to deliver value to the clients. If you think about the programmatic era of computing, when IBM rolled out systems like Watson, we talked about this new era of computing called the cognitive era. And what was really fundamentally going on was that we were transitioning from a stage of IT where systems needed to be programmed, and the deepest value that could be delivered for our clients was to help them actually codify their business logic in a way that allowed them to run their processes in a more repeatable, higher quality, more industrial way. And this was things like, how do you onboard an employee? How do you open an account? How do you process a loan? How do you file a claim? And this was all about really what I call the process-based focus of where IT delivered value to business. And we all prospered during that era. It was a tremendous era of productivity. Organizations all over the world were able to sort of on-ramp the way they worked and scale that more globally, going from a regional operator to a national operator, going to international, multinational, really getting scale in that space. And that was tremendously powerful. But now we're reaching a completely new inflection point, one that's partially fueled, in fact, by the creation of many pockets of operational data that were created when all these applications were rolled out into the organizations. And one that is also fueled by the disruptive economics of computing, the abundance of memory, the abundance of storage, the abundance of bandwidth. And now where our customers, our joint customers, are looking to divine value from IT is not from more codification of business process and logic, but it's how they can get insight out of all that information that they've amassed on top of those operational systems. It's also how they can get insight from combining those sources of information with information that exists outside their company firewalls, exogenous data, data that relates to brand sentiment, data that relates to climate and atmospheric data that can have profound effects on business continuity or demand signals. Data that exists in more unstructured forms, in many cases data that used to be very dark in terms of their ability to extract value, build an entity model, and match it to things that they trusted inside of their existing systems of record or their existing systems of analytics like data warehouses. That inflection point is really now hitting a tremendous stride, fueled in part by what I just talked about, but also great capabilities like our cognitive platform, which allows us to unlock even more dark data and transform roles in more fundamental ways that I'll talk about in a moment. This is that new economy. It's not a shift from the process-based space, and in fact, there's an important virtuous circle to be able to make those insights more actionable by aligning them with operational decision management, by aligning those insights with business rules, and by aligning those insights with more collaborative technologies, and you'll see a little bit about that when we talk about Watson Analytics a little bit later this morning, to really speed that ability to act on the insights. Fast, actionable insights are really the difference maker in the insight economy. Now, there's a couple of other things that are important. When we talked last year, we talked about us focusing much more on the line of business, where more IT decisions are made, but maybe even more importantly, where the trends indicate that the consumption models inside of businesses are really transforming to self-service models, whether that's someone who's thinking about building a new class of application using available tools, or whether it's someone who's thinking about a self-service business use scenario that wants to be able to onboard in a digital on-ramp to be able to get value quickly and then deliver a larger scale set of opportunities across their company. It maybe starts at a department level, maybe starts at a business function level, but these things are growing very, very rapidly. So we urged all of us to go focus more on engaging with the business buyers, with the line of business, and going deeper. We told you that we were going to build more of our portfolio elements in that solution context, which I'll talk about in a bit. And we asked for all of you to partner with us along that journey to really deliver more relevance to the line of business buyer. We also said that we were going to focus our portfolio in ways that service the needs of these self-service consumers, ones in the development space and ones that are business users. And through the course of this morning, you'll see the progress we've made on the portfolio of industry solutions, 20 which we announced this year, and we're announcing more. I won't steal anybody's thunder, but we're announcing more, of course, at Insight this year. And of course, Watson Analytics, which plays an important role of serving a new emerging class of individual, the citizen analyst, where we really democratize the use of advanced analytics like predictive, using machine learning to help data preparation and data quality, and allow you to plug in your expertise and disciplines in this model of an expert storybook, which I'm very excited to have you see a little bit later. That Watson Analytics space will be an on-ramp to this cognitive era for many of the people that are serving inside of businesses. So I urge you to really think about how to leverage that on-ramp as we move forward. And cognitive will be that difference maker, because in that previous generation of computing that we talked about, the programmatic era, the process-based economy, there were many roles that really weren't touched deeply by the value that computing brought. A doctor didn't think differently about how they performed their diagnosis. A lawyer didn't think any differently about how they prepared for a case. Yes, maybe there were aspects of access systems, the ability to get more information, but really no assistance from the standpoint of that IT backbone to really change the way that they worked. With cognitive, that changes. We have the opportunity to really fundamentally transform what I call efficacy of role, to build that symbiotic support system, whether that's a professional like an oncologist, a doctor, a lawyer, whether that's a chef, and in the case of Watson Analytics, whether that's our target space of the citizen analyst, to really transform and bring your industry expertise, your ability to help provide the right amount of data combined with other data that we'll provide, and really transform the way they think about working in a non-biased way to gain insights and act quickly. Now, this market continues to grow. Darren will talk about this later this morning as well. It seems like every year we come back and we talk about this market of big data, analytics, information management continuing to grow. And many of the sectors inside of it, like information integration, continues to grow very rapidly. The NoSQL space continues to grow very rapidly. The open space continues to grow very rapidly, and you've seen us transform the way we think about composing our capabilities, leveraging all of those things to meet this expanded opportunity. You'll hear a lot this week about cognitive business. And I think I just made the case for it a little bit earlier about illuminating that dark data, which has been very, very difficult for people to be able to provide a model to interrogate. Systems like Watson look at that information and self-formulate an ontology that's relevant to the industry that the information comes from, the role of the individual it's serving, and it learns and reasons in that information. Very, very different than search technology, which just uses frequency and proximity. in order to be able to align something, and all that is very, very biased in most platforms in the marketplace. Cognitive learns, reasons, understands. Understands in the language, not just the natural language that it's serving, but also the language of the industry. And that's important in order to reason and learn. And it will transform our ability to bring many more information sources into the space of transforming role and hitting that efficacy of role. It's based on top of an already extremely strong analytics portfolio. This is a continuum of capability, not a shift in the market from one to the other. Descriptive and reporting analytics are still very important in the context of moving to cognitive. Predictive, information integration, master data management, entity extraction, enterprise content management, all of those disciplines are still fundamentally important and actually set the bedrock that will be used in collaboration with cognitive capabilities to light up more use cases and light up more data. Now, last year, when we were here, I was in the process of really thinking about how we would organize for this new insight economy, how we would show up. If you noticed, we talk about client success. Frank and Neil don't lead sales organizations. They lead organizations that work with you in order to ensure our clients succeed. And that doesn't mean just the transaction of delivering the software. It means making sure that we're working together to deploy, that they get the value out of their space, and we build that virtuous circle. It means that we're opening up the commercial models to be able to afford them the right economics in the early spaces so they can experiment and learn and then scale very rapidly. So we formulated our model around building an analytics platform, one that is very, very exploitative of open technologies and cloud technologies. And you saw us move very aggressively into spaces like innovating the open data platform for Hadoop, innovating around Spark technology, formulating a Spark technology center around the space which we think will be very positively disruptive to serving new classes of machine learning and analytics applications. An industry solutions capability that leverages that platform and the cloud services that are underneath it in a way that serves the particular needs of that industry professional who's looking for better insight around lift analytics, better insight around behavioral investor patterns so that they can understand how to serve those clients better. These industry solutions have three common things that you'll see come out in the pattern. One, they use predictive analytics very, very heavily to make sure that we're finding ways to add value through insight. Two, they focus on the behavior of an individual or the behavior of a machine or a set of sensors that have an indication of something that can be predicted and acted upon. And three, they're deeply focused on the needs of that particular industry. We launched an Internet of Things division to focus on this pattern of solution that uses more data-driven products and services to help disrupt and transform business. This is about fundamental business transformation. And then we launched, starting with Twitter, these insights as a service to put more important information in a consumable way at your disposal to be combined with the other solutions that you're bringing to market. And of course, Watson in the center to help us with the cognitive business capabilities and extract business and business value in completely new ways, wrapped together with consulting and services that are delivered by you, our business partners, and of course, in cases as well, from IBM. So this is our new topology, if you will, as we bring our capabilities to market, and one that you'll see, the patterns of as you go through the discussions today. So it's absolutely the most exciting time that I've ever had the pleasure of enjoying in my journey in IBM and in the marketplace around insight and analytics. We know that you have choices as it relates to who you're going to partner with as you think about really exploiting the advantages of the insight economy. We are absolutely thrilled and honored that you chose and continue to choose IBM along that partnership. Remember, there are many things that I want you to take away from here. There's no dividing line between cognitive analytics and the foundation of analytics. It's a continuum. So your skills are going to be the skills that help clients exploit cognitive and go and solve business problems that have never been solved before. And a good example and a good on-ramp of that is what you're going to see very shortly from Mark and Inhi around Watson Analytics, who are going to show you our expert storybooks, which is a great way for you to leverage it and plug into it. We need to partner together, continue to help our clients along this journey. We never take that for granted. As always, we're deeply appreciative for the amount of time that you spend with us. As always, your time is the most valuable thing you do share with us. This is a big investment of time away from your families, away from your businesses at home, to learn about what we can do together in the inside economy. We have a very, very exciting week ahead of you, and we're very thrilled to be on the journey with you. So thank you very much, and enjoy the week. Darren, back over to you.